Hi guys, I'm Abhinav. I'm at the OTR Dirt Park with my friend Tushar. Let's speak to him.
Hi.
Hey Tushar, what's happening this morning?
We're just here to experience some KTM 450s.
KTM 450
Yeah,
EXCs,
yeah.
Enduro motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah.
We are Expulse riders.
Expulse riders, yeah. We just wanted to know how it feels to ride a KTM 450 or a 450 engine in general.
So guys, what we plan to do is, if if we like the 450,
Yeah.
we ride the Tiger most of the time for our adventure rides. We ride the Expulse on the trails, but I think it's time to upgrade.
Yeah. That's why we're here.
So we're here to experience the how an enduro motorcycle is, whether it's feasible to ride on the trail. This is a dirt track. We've never ridden on a dirt track earlier, so we just want to get the whole experience, because investing in a 450 dirt motorcycle, it's not cheap. It'll have to be a private import.
Yeah.
So it just demands a lot of commitment, a lot of money, and it's just a lot of hassle. So we're going to today try and experience these motorcycles, try and figure out with our instructor Philip, who owns 7 KTM 450 EXCs, how difficult it is to
have them
to
maintain them.
to the upkeep of the motorcycle, etc. So Tushar, now that we are here riding off-road in a way on the dirt track, why don't you just tell us about what riding gear you're wearing? Let me flip the camera, and then we can.
We start from the bottom. I'm wearing the Tech 3 Alpine Star dirt boots.
Okay.
I'll just show them. These are the boots.
Right.
These are the entry-level dirt boots from Alpine Star here.
Pretty cool, yeah. They offer a lot of protection,
Yeah.
a lot more than dual sport boots or
for sure. It's very
just adventure
firm.
boots.
Yeah.
Right.
Then I'm wearing a Scott pant.
Right.
And there are Rhinox knee guards inside
Yeah.
till the time we get our knee braces.
Right.
If we ever get them. Then I'm wearing a jersey,
Okay.
Triumph armor underneath.
Right.
with
And you're gonna
Heels.
wear right.
And I'll wear a helmet with Thor helmet.
So this is your
Yeah.
helmet with the Scott goggles,
Yeah.
MX goggles. All right. I don't have dedicated, dirt bike, motocross style riding gear. So what I'll do is I'm just going to wear some Decathlon pants, and I'm gonna wear my TCX dual sport boots. I have this Alpine Stars bionic armor. I'm gonna wear a jersey on top, and I'm gonna wear Royal Enfield knee guards.
So, the day will be, or your session will be divided like all the other sessions in two parts. So part one, part two. During part one, you are discovering the bike. During part two, you will do more practical exercises on the track, on the MX track. During part one, you will do only exercises on the flat track. So we start with the bike. The KTM is a 450cc bike with 55 brake horsepower and 106 kilogram. So when you compare the power to weight ratio, it's comparable to super bikes of 1000cc. Just half the power is just half compared to the weight. So it's very aggressive bike. Actually. You should drive it very smoothly. As long as you respect the throttle, you can do whatever you want with it. So we'll do some exercises by playing with the throttle and the clutch to get used to the bike. Up. So 106 kilogram. It's not a very heavy bike. So you have to stay very mobile on the bike. The basic principle is that in the beginning of an acceleration phase, you bend forward so that you will compensate the tendency of the bike to lift up. So that's the beginning of the acceleration. Your neutral position on the bike will be in many cases like that, more or less in the middle. Always bending your knees is important. In the braking phase, you should push the bar forward. You push the bar, you brake hard, 80% with the front, 20% with the rear brake, and you put your seat as much as you can at the back of the bike. Don't sit. Sitting and braking is very inefficient. So you push the bar, especially your foot. You push the bar and you brake like that. So acceleration you're going forward in the beginning, and then neutral position, and then braking, you go at the back of the bike. That's the movement that you will do on the bike in function of braking and acceleration phases. Move, one, la, la. When you try to turn, when you take turns, the basic principle is that you don't use the bar in off-road, because the only thing that you will do is filling it down with the bar, with the bike like that. So what you have to do is to use your body weight to make the bike turn. If you want to go on the left side, you put a lot of weight on your left leg. You want to go on the right side, you put a lot of weight on your right leg. The bar just need to counter steer the direction that you're doing. That's when you enter the turn. When you go outside the turn and you accelerate, when you pass the apex and you start to accelerate, you put weight at the external leg. So I repeat, you go in a corner, internal leg, to make the bike bending on the right way. You accelerate, other leg. If you don't push weight on the other leg, the bike will start to skid. Go like that. So, moving forward and backwards in function of the acceleration or deceleration phase, turning left, right in the beginning of the turn, out of the turn when you re-accelerate, external leg. Internal leg for going in turn, external leg for out of the turn. When you're turning on a flat track and you're taking seated turns, you have to be there. Not there, that's more or less in the middle of the bike, with your bump on the middle of the bike, more or less where your feet are on the foot pegs. It's not good. You really have to be very much in front. The reason is that on a flat track like that, even if it's less slippery than this morning, your front wheel will just skid away if you don't put a lot of weight. So the weight must be at the maximum at the beginning of the seat, with your balls on the tank. Now, during the first acceleration phase, you are still sitting very much in front so that you can bend the bike quite a lot. You accelerate, then you stand up in the second half of the straight line. You brake, you're still not sitting. You're still not sitting, and you sit only when you're accelerating, and then you put a lot of weight on your external leg.
Let's see how it shows.
So in the last corner, I just did what you never have to do, is to touch the front brake.
Right.
That was happen when you touch the front brake. Don't touch the front brake, the rear brake. Touch only the front brake when you're braking straight. You're bending, still controlling the turn with a little bit foot brake, and jumping on the tank. Reaccelerating in the beginning at the front, like that. Don't sit, sit when you're turning. Let's try that now. Both exercise, up, up. So, sitting, standing, front, backward, That's the dynamic that you should try to do.
Alright, on the bike. Then get out of this corner, then on to go and get into. That we are supposed to do.
tired?
आम बम ये पूरा
थोड़ा सा।
पत्थर हो गया भाई। गुड गुड गुड, कोई बात नहीं, जस्ट रिलैक्स रिलैक्स। पानी चाहिए?
पीता
लो।
उतारना पड़ेगा सब।
ले रैम्पेज।
Ah,
You already got it carried?
fuck, I'm so dead. I'm so tired.
They make you, man.
Twice. Combination of both exercises. And then we will do a
Okay.
few turns in the other.
Anti-clockwise now. Stand up on the straights. And then sit mid corner once you're finished hitting the apex. Let's try that.
Try to have no gap, no idle time between your braking. Sit and accelerate immediately. Try to keep this idle time as short as you can.
Okay, so let me show you a quick feature. The stand goes up on its own, and then you have to get on the bike. I don't have any flexibility. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
Come, you want water before you start?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay. All right. Okay, I did not. Oh, fuck it.
You are way towards inside. You have
Outside.
to wait the outside.
Got it.
Come here so that you could lean the bike. अभी आप
Okay.
क्या करो, उधर ही वेट लगा रहे हो, so that उसके हिसाब से जा रहे हो। No.
और जब बैठूंगा तो अंदर वेट आना है।
हाँ, लेकिन जोर इस पे लगाना है।
ठीक है,
Try to wait this one so that the rear would grip better.
I will try.
When you taking the turn जब ऐसे है तो वेट इस पे आएगा। अगर आप राइट टर्न ले रहे हो तो लेफ्ट पे वेट आएगा, लेफ्ट ले रहे हो तो while accelerating, so it would get better grip. ठीक है,
try.
चलो try do that. Leaning with the bike,
Yeah.
which is not right. You need to lean against the bike.
Okay.
Get that. You are leaning and you're doing this.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay.
And you're trying to stand on one foot.
हाँ.
When you're coming out of the corner, you're standing on one
Huh.
foot. Don't do that. All the recipes for a drop. Counter कर. अगर बाइक वहाँ जा रही है, move out.
Okay.
Counter. And in this drill, you're not supposed to get your feet off the footpeg.
Okay.
You're trying to go with both your legs on the footpeg.
Okay.
Both your feet on the footpeg. Try doing that. चलो अभी वहीं पे ही आ रहे हैं। आपको तो मैं clockwise करवाऊंगा।
हाँ.
आगे ओके, आगे ओके।
I know. Hold. पकड़ो
क्या हो गया? All well?
उतरना है.
हाँ, just come on, no problem. You can hold me, no problem. Just relax. Sit down. Sit. Shadow. Take it off. Yeah. Sit there. You want to have some water, please? You're holding.
Better?
क्या हो गया? हीटिंग पीठ में पानी डाल भाई, उससे बढ़िया कुछ नहीं. बट इफ इट्स एक्सेस नहीं कुछ नहीं. पीठ में एक गिलास पानी डाल लो. राजस्थान में कई बार जिंदगी बची है मेरी. मजाक नहीं कर रहा हूँ. if it's actually if you're feeling that kind of खुजली वाला heat.
It's not the heat, my heart rate shot up. I'm okay.
You almost what?
I almost threw up in the helmet. I couldn't even take it off. I couldn't call out for help. I was doing time out. कोई देख नहीं रहा था. So I had to call. And then
You'll be
all of the
fine?
bike, they had to take the helmet off. मुझसे तो उतरा ही नहीं.
You'll be fine now, right?
Yeah, just the heart rate is coming down finally.
ठीक है.
You know it happens with me. Heart rate is
Even on the trail, yeah.
हाँ.
Philip has talked about quite a few of the basics, so I want to go through with some more basics which would be helpful for motocross. The first thing is the body positioning. Okay, so when we do motocross, the terrain, the elevation changes. Sometimes when you go on the jump, the elevation changes. When you land, the elevation changes. When you take a berm, high berm, the elevation changes. So the point is, when you change elevation, the center of gravity of both your bike and your body changes. So the basic fundamental of riding good or riding supercross, motocross, something which needs full rev, you need to have a very agile body on your bike. See, basically you need to contact the center of gravity of the bike to the center of gravity of your body. See, the bike and the body, it's like a bell. So your body is the bell's pendulum in between, and the bike is the outer shell. So the bell rings when it is there in between. If I'll stick that pendulum to the bell, it's not gonna ring. So this machine here, this is the highest pivot point on any motorcycle. So the jerks, whatever jerks the bike has to throw at you, we have to keep the thighs as tight as possible, gripping the bike, so all the jerks that the bike has to throw at you is restricted till your lower body, so that your upper body is always nice and loose. So there shouldn't be any load. I was getting a lot of complaint from people for arm pump. Why? Because they don't have a habit of gripping the lower part. Shh, guys.
Sorry, it's my fault.
So they don't have a habit of gripping the bike with the lower body. So that is the reason whatever jerks that the foot tech has to throw at you, you have to restrict it with your hand. And we all know that hand muscles are quite weaker than the leg muscles. So the upper body muscles should always be nice, loose and relaxed. So this is one of the most important things that you guys need to follow. Upper body, nice, loose and relaxed. The lower body, super tight. Use your thighs. Yeah, and whenever you're riding, in standing position, never lock your knee and ride. This is not right. Okay, you have to have this angle. This is called the attacking position. You are in attacking position. You are not sitting. You are not standing. Right. So now the benefit is you can use your body in a way where you can have the fruitful part of sitting plus the fruitful part of standing. So why this angle is required? Can somebody come ahead? Akshay, can you come? So yeah, let's say if he's standing on the bike with his leg straight. Yeah. Thoda kholo. Okay. And I want him to snap my hand. Can you snap my hand with your? ये सीधा रखना है.
Careful, sir. He has got a big pendulum.
Okay.
Hey, we think
He's not able to. Now I'll
He's
just
touching all
hold
riders
it.
like that.
You can snap
Dirty.
my hand. Snap it, no? Just snap it. See, I can get some grip. If it is straight, can you snap my hand? No. So the
I
point
will
is,
just ask one thing. The two reasons is one, you cannot snap if you don't bend. The second thing, but it's linked of course to the snapping. If you're in straighter position and you didn't saw a hole on the mixed track, you know where are the holes. The whoops is different. But when you're on trails, you don't see where is the hole. Suddenly you take a hole. Here, there will be a suspension from your legs. Here, there will be no suspension at all, and you will fly over the bar. There is one hole that you didn't saw. Your knees are locked. It's very comfortable, of course, because your muscle don't have to work. But if you're locked like that, you will just jump off the bar. So gripping on an MX and on the trails, just to be the natural suspension. Otherwise, you flip.
so we have to realize that each leg has two suspensions, the ankle part and the calf and the thigh part. So we have two. So when you're riding MX, and especially this is for MX where we have a lot of jumps where we lose contact with the land. So make it a habit to always ride on the balls of your feet. Ball is the point from where the toe starts. That's the ball. Okay. Always ride on the balls of your feet. What that gives you? That gives you one suspension and two suspensions. So 2 into 2, 4 suspensions. So if you ride on the ankle, you're losing one suspension from each your legs. So now you are just left with two suspensions, and it makes a huge difference, believe me. So always make it a habit. So here, see, the point you need to understand, and I told it to the first batch also, guys, you're not here to race. You're here to learn something. Don't focus on speed at all. Speed is always a byproduct. Trust me, if you'll get the techniques right, speed is always an add-on, man. 90% of the people get intimidated and they try to focus on the speed. If he's going faster, I'll try to go faster. In that, you stop learning. The moment you get fast, you stop learning. Okay, so let's learn the technicalities, and eventually when your speed increases and you're safe, you're safer, you're faster. So that is a win-win situation. But if I get intimidated and I want to jump like this guy or that guy, if he can do, why can't I? He's my friend. He started riding after me. Just forget everything. Here the only competition is you. How much better you are able to do it, right? So first we'll just go for a basic figure of 8. Okay. So in the figure of 8, you just need to focus on 3 basic fundamental things. When you're taking the turn, make it a habit to load the outside foot pegs. Alright? Don't load the inner foot pegs. Why? When you load the outer foot pegs and while accelerating, the weight on the outer foot pegs actually is a reaction weight which helps you get more traction from your rear wheel. Why? Because your weight is already towards the front. Okay? And if your weight would also be towards the inner part, then your tail would tend to go away from you. So that's why you need to load the inner. You have to load the inner so that the rear is always reacting to the surface. Yeah. Right. So focus on that, number 1. Number 2, please look one step ahead of what you are doing. This is very, very, very important. A very general process that we have in our mind. We as layman, we think what we are doing. If I'm taking a turn, I'm just looking at that turn which I'm taking. But in racing, you should be one step ahead. That's why it is called racing. If you're taking a turn, let's say you have a 180-degree turn or a berm or a flat turn. So it is, any turn can be broken into 3 parts: the entry, apex, and the exit. So once you're approaching the turn, let's say from 100 meters or 200 meters, so your eye should be directly on the entry of the turn. So whatever, any obstacle in between that, there's a ditch or a stone or something, your subconscious vision is automatically going to take care of it. Example, I'm looking at Tushar, but I could also see Abhinav. I'm not looking at it. I'm not, I could see Aryaman. Exactly. So the peripheral vision, the reflexes from the peripheral vision is much higher than the vision which we focus on, right? So always try to look straight to the next obstacle. Never look here. So the point is, always look where you want to go, not where your bike is taking you, right? So when you are about to hit the entry of the berm, your eye should be already on the apex of the berm. When you are about to reach the apex of the berm, your eye should already be on the exit of the berm. Same is the case when you're about to hit a jump, your eye should be on the face of the jump. While you're about to hit the face of the jump, your eye should be almost on the landing of the jump. So your thought process is already one step ahead, so that it could process the data a step ahead and give you accordingly, so it again makes you safer and faster. Okay, so first we'll start with the figure of 8. So these 3 things are important while doing this figure of 8. So after this figure of 8, then we'll try to hit the track, and jumping is not at all mandatory. Guys, if you're not comfortable, do not jump. Roll it. Do not jump, just roll it. Feel, what you have to feel is when you go on a jump, obviously the bike will try to throw you up. How you can stop it? You need to grip it. Whenever you are hitting the jump, you need to grip it. When the elevation comes, you need to shift your weight in front. What normally people are doing, they sit like a statue on the bike. They don't move. The elevation changes, you need to move. When it is flat, you are sitting 90 degree normal to the bike. When the bike is going up, you need to put your weight also in front, right? If you will be like this, it's like same when you land. When you go on the slope, the same thing. You go down, you put your weight at the back, right? So body movement, the part, see, once you have completed a turn, come into attacking position, right? Once you're about to hit the turn, just get in front. So all the movements should be meant for that particular section.
Sequenced.
Exactly.
Sequence body motion.
Yeah.
Sitting, standing, left, right, front, back, back. Hop, hop.
Right. So even in the motocross track, the vision is the most important thing. Always look ahead, and get used to the throttle. Getting used to throttle is very important, because these like beast has like huge power. So you should know how to smoothen it. Like people who ride X-Pulse and all. So there we just kill the bike. So but these bikes have so much power that you have to harness. See, it has like it is a pool of power, and you can just have like 100 liters out of it. So the maximum you can. Okay, now I'm able to get 100, then I'll get 120. So
Smooth.
like
Try to be very
eventually
smooth.
you can get okay. So don't try to just go on and like don't jerk it. Try to smoothen out, because there's so much power that you can't just go on like we go on our Indian bikes. So we have to get used to it. And let's start with the figure of 8. Then we'll move to the MX track. Any question, guys?
One part about the MX track, I saw in the previous session in the whoops, a lot of riders try to fight with the bar. Now the bar, and it's the bike is 106 kg plus your weight, it will go anyway up and down.
One of the most
The idea is
important
every
things.
time that you're in the down, you push the bar. Then you let the bar just come back. Push the bar. Every time you're in the whoops, whoop, 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 whoop.
That is the
Do not try to control the acceleration.
Exactly. That is the thing which I was telling. When you keep the upper body nice and loose, this is specially used when you're going on the berm. Sorry, on the whoops. See, you have good hold from here.
You're locked.
Keep the handlebar straight and just let it move.
Let it move.
Just let it move. Let it come. It will go back. Don't restrict it. Don't. If you tighten it up, the jerk will come to you, and this is the processing unit. All right. If this get like some fluctuations, you can't process it, right? So you want this thing to be one fucking steady
Just let it
thing,
go.
never moving.
And you push it.
Yeah.
Don't try to pull it, just push it
Yeah.
every time
So,
the bicycle.
on the whoops, just
very
grip it tight, be on your toes, right? And just let it work. And keep the handlebar straight and accelerator constant. Whatever it is, even it is 20%, keep it constant. Just let it move. This is gonna be the
मन में उधर से
Let it constant throttle. Right, chalo, let's go. Let's go.
Okay, let's see. KTM branding over here.
looks official, but it is not.
It's not. It's not official KTM. Very nice. And it's not that expensive, right?
Yeah, it's 2,500 for a session for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Pretty reasonable for these bikes. The only thing is they take security of around 15,000 rupees, which is refundable.
Yeah.
So that's all. 2,500 is nothing for this kind of thing. You're not finding it anywhere else. But next week I'd love to do it on my Xpulse.
Yeah, we'll
come
get the
here
X-Pulse
more
here.
often.
We need to get a
Maybe get some
little bit of
limited
track time in
Yeah.
before we can actually think of buying these bikes.
Yeah. I so wish they were available in India.
Yeah, man. What to do?
This guy will jump again.
Yeah. There's such a niche genre, no, that no manufacturer is going to get these bikes here officially.
But unless we have these kind of bikes, how will people start?
That's true. The X-Pulse is a very good beginner platform.
Yeah. It's only
But we need more.
Yeah.
At least, I feel
I think even
Yamaha should get the WR155 here. The R15 engine-based
Yeah,
dirt
yeah.
bike.
But the thing is, they'll not be able to compete with the Xpulse in terms of pricing.
Yeah, it'll be at best what? 1.7, 1.8 lakh rupees.
How much is the R15?
R15 is 1.8.
Acha.
So it should be comparable.
I think even a 300cc engine or even a 250.
250 is good enough, yeah.
So I ride the Husqvarna 250.
Yeah.
The engine is more than sufficient for even
Yeah.
the highway time. If you include at 110, you can do it all day.
Yeah. That guy's coming in. Coming in hot. Oh, fuck.
You know what people usually do, including me, is we let off the throttle right when the front wheel leaves the hill.
Yeah.
And that's what causes this.
Yeah.
Because the rear tire is still getting traction from the ground.
Yeah. You should be on a constant throttle when you're just about to leave the crest.
Even it's better not to leave it than to leave it early.
Haan.